I guess we got to take another call. That's what we're here for, right, Richard?
That's what we're here for.
All right. Well, let's go out to Pennsylvania. We've got Hannah, she, her. You have a question for us, I think, if I can actually push the button, Hannah. I promise I'm going to get you on. But you were on Talk Heathen with Richard and SR. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me. You guys are killing it today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they were scraping the bottom of the barrel for hosts today, so we were the last ones on the list. But thank you. But you've got a pretty interesting question. What is that question? And we'll see if we can help out a little.
Yeah, so a little bit of background about me. I was homeschooled growing up, aka brainwashed by Answers in Genesis. And so it's been a journey. I'm 30 years old now. And during the era of Donald Trump and COVID, I really started to question. I'm like, wait a second, are Christians the bad guys? Are we the bad guys in this scenario? What's going on? And just seeing all the inconsistencies in my faith. And so I've really been on a journey of deconstructing that and going through all the angst and stuff that entails. And then last summer, I really came to the conclusion that, it's not that Christianity is I don't think it's true. But I would still consider myself a Christian, I guess, just because I do see how it can be a pathway to love and community. And so I'm still really, really more than I've ever been involved in my local church. I'm the youth leader. And so right now our church, all churches, are in a season of Lent, which is supposed to be a time of self-reflection and thinking through what we want to give up for God and that type of thing. And so I've been thinking about do I want to give up God for Lent? Just because I'm not sure if this belief is serving me anymore. But my big thing is if I quit my church, what are these teens going to do? I don't know. I feel like I've been able to, share some love and some positivity in a space where it might otherwise be, purity culture, don't have sex before you're married. This is what you have to do. You have to get baptized. And so I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of sounds, no worries at all, Hannah. It kind of sounds like you're saying, that you recognize a lot of the harm and a lot of the problems that various believers can go down, right? Those really bad routes.
Yeah.
And you're kind of looking at it from a different perspective now and wondering if maybe there's a chance for you to kind of soften some of that harm or completely cut it out. I think that's an awesome goal. I'm hugely in support of that. I want you to know. Also, I want to say I can't really give you advice because I don't exactly know the full situation. But I can tell you some of my thoughts on it, which are, as someone who thinks all of these religions that I've ever come across really are, at the end of the day, just not founded in reality. There's crucial elements to each one of them that just don't work. They just aren't true. And worse than that, there are parts of it that, again, are crucial elements to these belief systems that actively cause harm every single time. And there's no question. There are some good things. There are good people, of course, right? We have to separate Christians and Christianity, Muslims and Islam. Islam is bad. Not all Muslims are, right? People can be good people and still have these beliefs. My view is we can just do better without them. We can avoid all of that harm and we can have a lot better things. So being in the place that you're at is a little tough, I think, because I'm not sure exactly what I would do. Because in one sense, I think, you're spot on, Hannah. I think, my gosh, I wish more churches were filled with staff members that had more of a thought process like you, right? There are so many wonderful believers out there who, aren't anti-LGBTQ. They're not trying to just force their religion into the laws across the world and kill people in the streets and stuff. those people in those fights are always on my team. I am always going to stand shoulder to freaking shoulder with those people. And we can have the conversation about, did Jesus rise from the dead? We can have the conversation about, fundamental existence of absolute ultimate ground. We can do all that shit later. But the stuff that is super duper tangible, which it kind of sounds like some of the stuff that you're talking about, right? That stuff that just is constantly harmful, that purity culture garbage, teaching people that they're just inherently fundamentally broken and crap. Like, that stuff is just straight bad. And I love the idea of somebody saying, how can I present this information in a way that isn't like this, right? How can I give the good things of this religion and get rid of all that crap? I think if you go that route, and again, I can't, I definitely can't give advice because I just don't know your situation well enough, unfortunately. But I think if you go that route, you'll find yourself in a boat of, before too long, starting to say, really, everything that I want to teach in this vein is found somewhere else and found better. And that at the end of the day, even giving lip service to it sometimes just continues to perpetuate those harms that you don't want. And again, this is a really, really tough place, Hannah. I really do. I feel for you. I know what this was like. I spent years going to my church playing music. I played handbells, I played drums, I sang. Like, I did that for years in a space of really not believing. And it was hard to know what to do because, all I was really doing was just playing the drums, right, for some of the songs. But was I actually contributing to some of the harms too? I don't know. I had to wrestle with that. But let me pass it off to Richard real quick, and I'll shut up. But hopefully, some of that at least kind of helped, with the thought process, or at the very least, let you know that you're not the only person that's been in this space or in this space now, and there are a lot of really good people here in this community that. Please reach out and say something to, and I know they will show you some love back. So. Richard, any thoughts on this? What exactly should Hannah do here? What do you think about this, man?
I don't think anyone can decide exactly what Hannah should do other than Hannah.
Yeah.
I think there are a couple of things to consider. One of which, and probably the main one actually, is what do you see your status as being in the church and within the religion? Do you see it something that you see as being there indefinitely? Are you going to be going to church continually? If so, I think that changes the kind of and again, as Asar says, I don't want to give you direct advice, but it changes the kind of answer I would give, because you do not have to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are not responsible for these young people.
Yeah.
And in a way, you trying, if you're kind of in a position where you're questioning your own faith and you're kind of giving that to these young people, you don't want to put yourself in a position where their parents are kind of getting angry with you and the church leaders are getting angry at you via the parents, putting these doubts on them. So I would say, you don't take on that responsibility if you're kind of putting yourself in a position of culpability, if you like, while doing that. Think about yourself and think about your position. And if you're looking to be in the church long term yourself anyway, and you don't see yourself going anywhere, sure, talk to these young people, because there might be a situation where they turn around and possibly ask you a question about homosexuality or about trans people, that you're in a position to, being in the position you're in, to give them really good advice on, which may not be exactly in line with the church, but may inform them being part of the church. If you're doubting and you're thinking about kind of leaving the church altogether, or leaving that specific church, then don't take on that responsibility, is what I would say, because you've got a duty of care to yourself first and foremost in any situation. And I think that's something that we should be kind of pushing out there much more, and that you've got a duty of care to yourself. And I understand that you probably feel responsible for these young people, being a youth pastor or a youth church leader, and you've probably built relationships up with these people, and they are very, very important. But you're not going to be able to do them any good if you're uncomfortable with yourself. There's a very, very good organization, I think, that you might benefit from kind of talking to, and that's recoveringfromreligion.org. I've personally got some good friends within that organization, and I know that you're kind of exactly the kind of person that they like look out to help. So if I would suggest, rather than talking to us two idiots who can't really give you any advice, give Recovering from Religion a call, and kind of they'll help you navigate this a lot better than we can. But yeah, I'd say first and foremost, for me personally, self-care is the most important. And it doesn't matter whether you currently believe or whether you currently don't believe or whether you're on the fence. But these children are not your direct responsibility. You are your responsibility. And if via looking after yourself, you can help these children, then do that. If helping these children is going to cause you difficulty, then take a step back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only advice I can really offer you.
Yeah. What do you think about all that, Hannah? Shout back to us a little bit here.
I'm going to try not to cry. That was both of you. That was so beautiful. And this is like the first time I've talked about this to anyone, because even the thought of just leaving is so scary to think about.
That's a lot.
But I think you're spot on, Richard, with with self-care and stuff. Because I love these kids so much, and I just see so much good in them, and I really do want to foster that. And and they have so many great questions. Like, kids always have great questions. Like, they're the ones who are questioning and being like, how does this work? And aren't all religions good? And I'm like, yeah. But and also there's some truth to everything, but then there's also dangers to everything as well. And I don't know, it's just, that was beautiful. I'll definitely check out that website that you gave me for sure. And that was, I don't know, I'm blown away. I didn't expect that at all.
Well, Hannah, I'll tell you this right now. If you're not watching the stream as it is, that's okay. Go back and check it out. We've got the love rings going for you right now. And I know there's been just a whole bunch of freaking support for you in the chat and stuff. Also, please reach out to these communities. Recovering from Religion, like Richard talked about. Remember, we've got the Fan Run Discord and the Fan Run Facebook pages. And honestly, either way, no matter what you decide, Hannah, give us a call back and let us know, because it just sounds like a place that I think a lot of us have been, and we remember what that time feels like. Most of us, it sucked, it hurt. We felt alone. We felt like everyone was fighting us. And honestly, there's a lot of us out here that are just ready with open arms. We're just excited to have you, because you seem like a good person. Whether you ultimately end up staying in the church and believing or not, it sounds like you are just genuinely a good person, and you just want to see good things for other people. And we want that too. We want that for people. We're secular humanists, and whether you believe or not, we still want good things for you. So Hannah, give us a call back in the future, and just update us and let us know, because I'm sure everybody out here would love to hear that. So.
All right. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much you guys helped me today. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, awesome, Hannah. Well, thank you so much. Definitely. And I know that is a tough place for sure, Richard. It can be very difficult, especially kind of depending on the community around you and stuff. But I think you're right, man. We always have to be making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our mental and emotional health. It can be very tough, and it does sometimes feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But the good news is there are a lot of other shoulders. There are a lot of other people out there that are happy to stand and help each other. So.